What it do, good people? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy Smooth. Uh, Al, dang, what's good with y'all?
What's good, bro?
It's been a couple weeks, y'all. We haven't been. I know I've been under the weather. Me and my daughter been sick as a dog. Uh, get that goddamn Michigan cup out. Don't nobody care about that. We about to get to that immediately, though. We about to get to that immediately. So, got a few topics for y'all. We're gonna run through. Dame hit me up earlier. As y'all can see here, Michigan football fan, University of Michigan. They played Michigan State this weekend.
Go blue.
Dane, tell us what happened and why you wanted to talk about it.
Not only was the first half a good game, both coaches was going at it. At the second half, it got out of hand for Michigan side, which is okay with me because I'm a Go Blue fan. I do respect Michigan State Spartans with the program they're trying to build after Mike D'Antonio left. And Mel Tucker, nice contract extension, but right now this year he's not proving up to his numbers. But after the game, there was a scrap on the field. We thought was handled and done over with, done and over with on the field, but something ensued behind those doors. One Michigan player, it was two Michigan players who got jumped by the Michigan State players. One player was jumped by 10 of the Michigan State players, and they said that reportedly
Jayden McBurrows.
Yes, his nasal passages were broken. So what they said. I don't know anything, but after that, I know the Michigan police is investigating it right now. But and there's video evidence of what's happened.
Yeah, they even they did it right in front of the reporters in the tunnel. Right. They did it right in front of the reporters. Sports Illustrated. That's why I seen the initial on Twitter. Because they was on it immediately. So they was like, it was multiple reporters there in the tunnel. And y'all can see the picture right there. They said he was on the ground, basically in the fetal position,
right
at one point, and they was just kicking him and stomping on him. So I expect all those players to get kicked off the team.
Yep. Legal outside the sports, legal reason, ramifications coming from it.
Especially if his football career is in jeopardy because of that.
Well, no, not even just because of his football career. This is outside the lines of the sport.
But it's always been fights in the tunnel. That happens plenty of time. But if the injuries cause him to miss games or miss a season like that, there will definitely be legal repercussions.
I don't know what's going on lately. Michigan and Michigan State are the only two teams in the Big Ten or anywhere else that have the same locker or the same tunnel that the players and coaches have to enter. And the last couple of weeks, there's been some type of altercation between Michigan and other visiting teams. Like Penn State was here last week, and reportedly peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were thrown at Michigan players. Now this week they're getting a freaking head stumped in. Like,
so let me ask y'all something. Is it the coach's fault? Should the coaches take blame for that?
No.
I say yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I say yes. Go ahead.
I want to say because you still supposed to act accordingly, like you got some sense in the world. Just because you're on the field, you're playing a sport, you're being coached by some more grown adults, you still supposed to know how to act in the world. This doesn't exclude you from manners and just how to act like as a civil human being.
Yeah, but when the part that you just explained, that fall on your parents. But when you got that uniform on, you represent your university. you represent your coach.
Mhm.
Your coach is who's held liable for you when you got that
Yeah,
uniform or you're
yeah,
under
but
leadership. So if you going out there and you stomping people out, then first thing you're gonna look at is their leadership. Just as an individual, if you see some kids and you see them out there cussing, acting crazy, you're gonna look at them as they rude, but you're also gonna think to yourself, who they mom, who they parents, who what leadership they under. So yeah, in my opinion, the coach definitely got to take some of that blame.
no, were you
Yeah,
saying all? Were you saying all the responsibility, or
I ain't saying all, but
okay?
it falls on him
it
also.
falls
He
on
take a
them.
big part of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I agree some of the portion, but not majority of it. I think majority of it is on them. But yeah, I do agree with you on that. But
I'm gonna say this: the majority of the consequences is going to fall on the kids, on the players. But I still feel like the majority of the blame should really be placed on the coaches because they create that atmosphere, they create that energy. You feel me? So we talked about Dion and Jackson State not too long ago. So what I said Dion said in that locker room, I don't talk to other teams players. I don't talk to them. I don't want them talking to me. So he has that same rule for his students. I mean, for his players. Don't go talking to that other coach. Don't talk to that team over there because that's how these situations occur. So I'm fully for I think both coaches should face some type of repercussions, reprimands for the actions of their players. Because we know the players gonna get in trouble. You feel me? That's the easy recourse they can take. So, but I feel like, the coaches and the atmosphere they create and them assistant coaches and all that on the sideline, like football is intense. Al, you got a son playing high school football. All my brothers basically play high school little league football. It was that same energy. You feel me? You could see it with certain coaches. You could see it with other teams. Like they acting like that because they coach telling them to act like that. You feel me? So it definitely has a lot to do with leadership.
sorry I missed that part. I'll go back and watch it on our instant replay.
Nah, you
Uh,
good. I wanna fast forward because we haven't been on since the beginning of the NBA season. So a couple things I want to get to. How y'all feel about the start of the season? Al, I know you a Knicks fan. I know you kind of happy how y'all started off.
I mean, yeah, we got off to a decent start. To answer the question in general, I mean, it's been an interesting start, with the Lakers. Them getting off to a slow start.
slow ain't the word.
A lot of teams, even the Clippers, the Clippers getting off to a slow start. It's just been an interim, but it's the first. Sixers kind of got off to a slow start. So, it's you really don't take too much heat into the first month of the season. Everybody's still gelling. They still getting, used to each other, still getting some of that rust off. So, I'm especially as far as the Knicks, I never get too high or too low, at least until after Christmas, before you
Mhm.
really could see who's who. So, you know.
Me, I'm more so of. You remember I told you until the football season over with, I really don't pay attention to what's really going on because it's so early in the season. Uh, I did have an issue with a lot of predictions, and it's coming true. Like a lot of people had the Clippers being this. Oh, that's the biggest threat, the Golden State and all that. I've never seen it. You feel me? Like I always felt like, what evidence have they given any of us to say that they will be? Kawhi has to come show that he's still Kawhi, and already he down. You feel me?
Again,
Yeah, he done missed 3 straight games. They talk about he may have some other knee issues. They don't look that well. Like you said, I didn't expect Brooklyn to be. I expect to see just what I'm seeing from Brooklyn. Kyrie and KD showing out, and they can't play no defense. I still believe. I think Giannis going to win MVP again. Like in my opinion, I feel like he by far by far the way the best player in the league. I don't even think that shit really debatable, in my opinion, when you consider both ends of the ball. The Lakers, AD, man. Like, like I was on Twitter the other day because I was watching the game when he hurt his back. He'll never be superstar level again. AD at one point had the chance to be where Giannis at, and I just don't see it. I don't see him ever getting back there. It looked like he put on too much weight, in my opinion. He's super fragile. I like what I'm seeing out of the Memphis boys. I'm a huge Ja fan. I like what I'm seeing out of them. I expect some more trades to be made, but like Al said, it's still early, so there's a lot to remain to be seen.
Yeah. Pistons started off 1-0, look like world beaters. Went on a 4-game losing streak. And right now, I think whereas Golden State's kryptonite is themselves because they just lost to those Pistons tonight.
They lost again tonight or yesterday.
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
Golden State Warriors lost. Yeah, they lost last night, and
tonight?
the Pistons just whooped up on them.
Wow.
Back to back.
Wow. What's the name?
Yeah.
What's the name went at him yesterday? Dennis Smith Jr.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, this is back in 2019. We went to a Sixers game. You feel me?
Why?
I think Al, you the one that got us the tickets, right?
Yeah, some years.
Yeah. Al got us the tickets. Me, him, Kiss, and Al's son went. You know, they all went to go see Luka because they was playing Luka. You know, they had the great Harrison Barnes out there. So I was Tar Heel. I went to go see the Tar Heel. I remember.
Who's calling you through Facebook Messenger? That's just weird.
Nah, that's my daughter trying to FaceTime. My bad.
I take over for me. Go ahead.
Baby, I'll call you right back. I'm doing my show. Say hi.
What's up, pretty girl?
Konnichiwa.
I'll call you back. So I remember we was having this conversation. It was a father and a son in front of us. And I remember we was talking about Dennis Smith Jr. And I was like, bro, the boy just don't play smart. Like, if he continued like this, he gonna be out the league in like 2-3 years. And I was like, nah, man, he got the talent. And I think the gentleman in front of us was agreeing with Al. It's like he just got to put it together. I was like, I don't see it. And since then, he was proving me right. But I think this season, and I think it started at the end of last season, he's starting to prove me wrong. I think he's starting to get his NBA game together. You know what I mean? Last night was a great microcosm of it because he was going at Steph. You feel me? He was going at Steph.
The game prior to that, when they played the Knicks, he was killing Jalen Brunson. He had a double-double. I think he had like 16 and 12. He was killing the Knicks. The game prior to that, I still don't like his game. I don't know. I just don't like his game. Like the same issues. He got the size, he got the skill, he got the athleticism. It's just his basket. That's one thing you can say. You're starting to see his basketball IQ has gotten better due to his years in the league. But me personally, I'm still not a fan of his game. Like he still can't.
I feel like he relied so much on his athleticism growing up that like he behind. Like he real behind on his IQ and how to actually, didn't want him to be a point guard. Then he had to work on his defense because he was trash.
Right.
Like he's trash defensive, and he getting better. Like he locked in on Steph last night when Steph tried to go to the game winner. Like he locked in on him.
Yeah.
But
he's been playing well. He's definitely been playing well.
Yeah.
Like I said, played well against the Knicks. It's he another example of it's like you basically hit the nail on the head. It's like a lot of these dudes, they be so ahead of everybody when they was younger athletically, where they can just get away dominating with their athleticism, and then when they get to the NBA, you need that basketball IQ to match up with it. And sometimes they be needing like 3, 4 years, 5 years to get there. But the NBA, it's so much talent. Like, man, they'll get you up out of the league ASAP. You mess around, don't even be in the league by the time you got it together. So, hopefully for him, because he literally this was his last
last shot.
So it's good putting it together, because this literally was it.
Word up. I agree. Did you see the Klay Thompson D Book?
Yep, I did see that. I definitely.
How you felt about that?
I mean, D Book talk. I always book talk, and then he got CP on his team, so you already know CP be putting that battery in his back, and like Golden State the champ, so it come with the territory. They on everybody gonna be on your neck, so it's good to see Klay clapping back. And Klay, he said Klay was clapping back with "I got 4 rings." At that moment, that's really all Klay could clap back with, getting his ass bust on that court.
Word up.
Booker, I'm like, I got to him mentally. Because if we want to win the ring this year, chances are we're gonna have to go through y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think D Book, and credit to D Book. I want to say this first. At the end of the game, he gave he showed Klay a lot of love.
Definitely did.
That was respect. But outside of that, I think D Book got in the whole squad head, because if you go back and look at it, next thing you know, Dre start talking. Draymond, and he start throwing up the 4. And I always pay attention to the end of the game, like when the game over, and how the team and how the players interact with each other for whatever reason. I always pay attention to that. And Steph, damn, was Steph talking to CP? He was talking to one of the guards. It could have been Cameron Payne, and he was like, I mean, what's up with your boy in his mouth? You could read it. Now, I mean, he was talking a lot of shit. You feel me? You could read Steph. So I'm like, yo, he got the Steph too out there. And I think the Suns, because when Klay was walking out, Klay was like this. It was either saying it's still early, or wait till that time come when y'all see us down the road. You feel me? So I think that them two gonna finally meet up like how they should have either last year or the year before.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, because be careful what you say to a wounded dog, because it's still early in the season. 1, 2, Golden State likes to keep receipts like they did last season. Remember, everybody kept saying Golden State's run is done, and they went out and won it last year, and they recast those receipts. That's all they're doing this year. Wait until the season gets later. I want to ask you a question, both of you. Do you think the NBA should start later, like after the New Year's?
No.
No. I asked you a question because a couple of people here locally have been saying the NBA should. Nobody cares about the NBA until like January, like when football season's done.
I disagree.
Then in the NHL, because the season's so long, 82 game season, should they cut it 2 months? Just do it from January to June.
Nah, I totally disagree. You want to get it, you want to start that buzz early. You feel me? During the football, I feel like the fall, this is the greatest time of the year for sports, because you got everything going on. You feel me? We're gonna get to the major leagues in a minute, but you got the World Series going on. We right in the middle of the throes of the NFL season, and then like we said, we talking about the beginning of the NBA season. Now,
college football still going too.
College football still going strong. Shout out to my Notre Dame boys yesterday too. So I feel like everything a buzz, and like everybody getting where you fit in at this time. You feel me? And then, like, to me, it's perfect. Baseball ending, then football in like 2 months, and then now basketball and hockey got the runway. So to
speak. To the PGA Tour or horse racing.
Yeah, in tennis.
And I think with every sport, football, most people don't pay attention to the beginning. Like unless you an avid basketball fan or an avid baseball fan, most people don't really start tuning into the second half of the season anyway.
Yeah.
So it's perfect because like you said, by the time all those other seasons sports start winding down, that's when everybody start really tuning in anyway. Football, we just tune into every game in football because it's 17 games and every game matters. For basketball and baseball, every game, your team could go on 5-6 game losing streak and still be good. Football, you lose 4 in a row, it's a wrap for your season. So like every game matters. So I think that's I think it's cool the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask y'all a question before we get out the NBA. Kyrie.
Oh God.
Well, first off, before we finish the Clay, my mention's getting tore up because I wanted to talk about him getting mad at Charles Barkley for Charles Barkley saying, man, Clay will never be the same, this, that, and the third because the injuries. And Clay got mad at that and basically repeated everything that Barkley said and agreed with him. But for somehow, and I got on there and say he was too sensitive and they killing my mentions. And Kiss talking about Dame. I love NBA all season. Then Kiss is probably more of a basketball head than NFL.
No, I agree with you. It was just a question that popped up, and I just want to get your take on it. If they could play all year, I'll make them.
Yeah, but Kyrie, I wanted to get to Kyrie before we switch sports again. So Kyrie, first of all, we all know Brooklyn Nets is trash right now. They only won one game. They're like 1-6, 1-5. So on his Twitter, and I want to talk about this. I sent in the group chat to the team earlier. We're going to translate this into a Monday show. He posted a video on Prime. It was on Prime Video, and it was a movie about the Hebrews. I'm sorry, Willie, if you could look that up for me, I should have sent that to you. He'll post it on the screen. But anyway, it's the people I haven't watched it. But people saying it was filled with anti-Semitic rhetoric or what have you. From the research, a lot of people I've seen, they was like, nah, the movie isn't. Yeah, that's it right there. So I noticed a lot of people are saying, he got into it with a reporter. Some are saying he should take it down. He's standing up. He like, no, I'm not taking nothing down. The Nick Friedel reporter, I never liked dude. I never liked dude. He always got something
kind of angle.
Yeah, I don't trust him. So my question is to y'all is, if y'all was in that situation, movie and book, Hebrews to Negroes. You know what I mean? And it was a film directed by Ronald Dalton Jr. based upon his 2015 book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, book reads, since the European Arab slave traders stepped foot into Africa, blacks have been told lies about their heritage. So me and Al, we had a personal discussion about this, about Jews, black Jews and all this, probably years ago or what have you. But, this is a common, in the black community, this is a common conversation or what have you. But my question to y'all is, should athletes, when it comes to the reporters, if y'all was in his situation, would you defend yourself? Would you take it down? Or would you watch what you say? Because for me, if I'm an athlete, it's like, if y'all not talking to me about the sport I'm here for, and I'm not answering none of y'all questions. Anything I do in my personal time and in my personal life or what have you, that's on me. That's off limits to y'all, to this sports media. You feel me? How y'all feel about that?
it would, in a perfect world, that would be the perfect stance to take, but we gotta be realistic. And you know, when you an athlete in today's world, they monitor everything you post is monitored. So you know it's obviously with anything, it's a free world, free country, you're free to do anything, but you're not free from the consequence or the repercussions that come for it. So you already know when you post something along those lines, you know it's gonna be feedback from it. So if it's me personally, if I feel that strongly about it to post it, knowing I'm going to get feedback from it, and the feedback I'm getting from it is y'all throwing that word anti-Semitic towards me, I'm going to speak up against it because I haven't seen the video, but you like you said, bro, we had this conversation years ago. Like, it's a chance I haven't watched the video, but whenever I just noticed when Black Jews are mentioned, anti-Semitic always gets used right afterward when it's like it's a fact. You do your research on it, it's facts. So it's like if I know it's facts, and if I know I can take the stance of, yo, you want to debate me, you want to go fact for fact, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I can take that stance with it, then yeah, I'm gonna speak up on it. But like you said, bro, in a perfect world, it should be, yo, I'm playing sports. The question should be geared towards the game. It shouldn't have nothing to do with what I post personally outside of me playing for my team and my organization. But we know that's not the case. So, you know, it is what it is.
I agree. Dang.
Yes, I'm going to say it's a slippery slope because you don't want your personal life to be a distraction to your team and your your goals for the championship. But at the same time, this is my personal handle. He didn't post anything that says I agree whole factually on yada yada yada. He just posted this information that's out there for the world to see, for anybody to like. Oh, let me take a look at this. And obviously, people looked at it and like or seen it before. And why does it have to say that he was having hate speech against Jews at this time? He was just putting information out there for you to do with it as you please.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't promoting anything. And the reporter kept trying to get him to say that he was promoting it. Kyrie was like, "No, I'm not promoting it. I just posted. That's totally different." That's why that guy, he knew that guy had a agenda for what he was doing because everything's so fresh with the whole Kanye thing, with his anti-Semitic viewpoint and his stupidity. Then one of Michigan's players actually reposted Kanye's tweet, which got him in trouble. He said that it was a glitch when he retweeted Kanye West's tweet, and now people are saying that he should go to the Jewish museum, blah blah blah.
And that's my thing. They ain't never gonna come to the Black Holocaust Museum.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
or the Black Wax Museum in Baltimore. You feel me? They always talk about going to the Jewish and learn about the Jewish. They don't never want to come to us and learn about us because they think they know
that's
us.
That's why I'm triggered by this whole situation because it's every time there's an N-word thrown out there or some type of noose, literally, or somebody doing something wrong to the African American and Black community. Sorry, we just have to run with it, or not even an apology. When something's done to the Jewish community, which I have no problem with, or any other community, you have to go to the museums. You have to take classes. You have to apologize on numerous of talk shows. You have to take photo ops. Why do they always have to jump through XYZ hoops, but we get nothing?
Exactly.
That's why I know it's hurtful. After a while, I guess we became numb to it, or sometimes we just bury it. We vent to our close friends because God knows if we say something in public, oh, you're just attacking us.
And this is the owner right here. I'm disappointed that Kyrie appears to support a film based on a book full of anti-Semitic information. I want to sit down and make sure he understands this is hurtful to all of us. As a man of faith, it is wrong to promote hate based on race, ethnicity, or religion. Kyrie responded. Kyrie was like, I did nothing wrong. You feel me? Like he's standing on his square.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to see the video for myself because, like I said, it seems like anything that veers away from the narrative that we've been at our whole life. Like, you know, it's literally people that when you mention Black Jews, they think like that's like huh? How can that exist? Like, so it's like anything that veers from the norm narrative that we always been fed is called anti-Semitic, and I so don't like that. The machine.
Go look at Ali. Go look at the movie Ali. Jamie Foxx character was a Black Jew that he kept saying over and over. Nothing was said about that movie.
So you know,
I feel like it's they want to humble us. You feel me? And like whether you and not to go on a tangent, but I am real quick.
No, go ahead, preach, brother.
Like even with the Kanye situation, I don't care. You know, I don't hold Kanye. I never held Kanye in the esteem that everybody do. You know what I mean? Like me and Al had this discussion. Like that word genius. Like I don't like that. That word means nothing to me. Like he a great musician. That don't make you a genius. You feel me? Everybody and if you wanted to talk about it, everybody has a genius. You know, something they're great at or something. It's just about working it, applying
perspective,
and improving it. Yeah, perspective. So, but they kind of proving him right. You feel me? From
by accident.
By accident. You feel me? Like because all he said was y'all got all the power, and now since he said that, y'all stripping him of everything, and that's showing y'all got all the motherfucking power. Like you feel me? Like you kind of proving him right. Now whether we want to agree with how you go about it or the specifics, that's a whole different discussion. You feel me?
Do you think he's okay with being a martyr because making himself a martyr? Do you think he's trying to do that to prove?
That man still got hundreds of millions of dollars,
and
he just lost his billionaire status. I'm so sorry.
And technically,
he's just a millionaire now. He's just a mega millionaire now.
Technically, he really ain't lose that when you talk about his IP. If he started to sell all his intellectual property, it'll be right back to billionaire status. Imagine if he sold his music catalog. Like, come on, man. You know what they paying for that? His whole music catalog. So, like,
but at this point, people gotta want it too.
Man, listen.
I'm just thinking hypotheticals. No,
blow over, and it'll be yesterday's news. Was then another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like Kanye done said plenty of things, and it's but like, I mean, it's one of them situations where you got to be smart. You got to watch what you say because, like they say, it's like chess. You got to move strategically.
He don't want to because he thinks he's the smartest man in the room. And as our boy Hint on How to Hustle podcast, that you can find on iCloud, SoundCloud, and iTunes.
Come on,
sorry, I couldn't help it. It's been a minute.
So Kyrie.
The funniest thing
Kyrie. More so Kyrie. Let's get back to Kyrie.
Yeah, but the funniest thing that actually came from this is that the Goodwill says they will no longer accept any Kanye's clothes as a donation.
Yeah, well, that's on.
I mean, that's just funny.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's the point. Like, they trying to overkill shit. And, like,
the cancel culture has to be canceled itself at this point. Because this is ridiculous.
But there's so many uneducated people. That's why they get away with it. Because they're always anti-Semitic. That we just, okay, why could you say it? Because there's so many uneducated people. So many people are sheep. So it's like sometimes you gotta applaud people like Kyrie. Sometimes in a way you gotta applaud people like Kanye. But it's like, it's sometimes it's frustrating because it's like going to war with people that got machine guns and you just got a knife in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to win.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like the reporters start crossing the line anyway because it's one thing to say, "Hey, I can see you was kind of off your game. Do you think something outside of basketball is probably interfering with your concentration?" After that, they just kept digging deeper and deeper.
Not like KD response. I like KD response. when they asked KD, was the Kyrie situation affecting? He's like, KD was up there, was like, nah, it affected y'all. You feel me? And everybody else, they had, you feel me? We ain't bother us at all.
Right.
You feel me? So
We good.
yeah, so I like the KD response to that.
Right.
Let's switch up. So before we got on, Al, I don't know if you I'm pretty sure you probably seen it too. We was talking about the Major League World Series between the Phillies and the Astros. But this is the first time no Black American is playing on any team since 1950. And I was mentioning we talked about on here about how in our communities after a certain period we lose interest in baseball. I've been thinking about it, and like I told them, I think it's the Michael Jordan effect. I think the NBA promoted MJ became like on like an idol, a god in the Black community, so to speak. And I think they promoted him so much that a lot of people in that individuality, because basketball allow you to express some of your individuality in a team sport. I think a lot of people in our community started to gravitate towards basketball, and then after that, you had the AIs, the Kobe's, the Vince's,
Shaq.
all of them who Shaq, who all transform culture in our community and embrace hip hop. That's another thing that basketball did. Embrace hip hop culture. So a lot of kids in our community now don't normally play past little league. At most, some might play in high school baseball, but I think that's the reason. Like, what about y'all?
I think you hit the nail on the head with just the NBA and they marketing, and like, you know, even though NBA initially they want to do like they ain't like the whole hip hop effect AI was bringing with it, but that played the big part. Even with baseball, you gotta look like Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey wasn't like, he wore his little hat backwards, but Ken Griffey was like, I guess the term they would use was like a square, clean cut type of dude, you know, quiet. He wasn't too flamboyant, you know, he just let his play do the talking. And that was like the biggest baseball player. Like even Barry Bonds was the best, but Ken Griffey was more popular than Barry Bonds. So it was like, and you know, just the NBA did their thing with their marketing. Like you said, as the years got older, and you know, our age group, our generation, we traded cars, we traded baseball cars. It was like we knew about baseball players just from trading cars, knowing that was the thing, to know all the stats, the batting averages, who led, and you know, when trading cars went dead, the marketing of the NBA, and then you know, like we always say with baseball, in order to play baseball, you need a group of people to play baseball. Where with basketball, you go out there and shoot. It could be 2 people by yourself, 3 of y'all, and you know you can get a whole day worth of playing this. So, you know, I think all that is factors. But like, yeah, baseball. I think the number one thing is baseball just did a poor job of marketing its Black stars and marketing to the urban areas.
And the strike.
And the strike. That played
multiple strikes.
Multiple strikes. Yeah.
And that killed baseball in general, not even with the hub, but just in general, that killed baseball.
Facts. I just think like it's amazing from like you mentioned, from when we was a childhood. Like I tell everybody, Ken Griffey was my favorite athlete, period. You feel me? Like it wasn't even close growing up, Ken Griffey, you know, and it was like within me, and I was a Braves fan, you know what I mean? But even with me, when Ken Griffey like start getting hurt towards the end of his career, I noticed myself not really paying attention to baseball that much. I noticed the switch. It was a lot of more South American players coming into the league, you know what I mean?
Cuban, Dominican,
yeah,
Puerto Rican.
And you know, I have an issue with that, but now I can see how representation matters. You feel me? that's a prime example if anybody ever want to use it, how
Uh,
representation matters. Because even though we're a lot of them darker than me, shoot, look at David Ortiz. David Ortiz darker than me. You feel me?
Dominican. Yep.
But the fact that he wasn't Black American, there's only so much I can relate to that.
Right.
And, and even as I grow older, I can speak Spanish now. I can sit there and go to have conversations in Spanish with them, and it still doesn't, you feel me? That relation's still not there. You feel me? So I think that's a prime example of how representation matters.
That's facts.
I'm surprised
very
nobody point out the. I always bring out King Griffey Jr. Nobody brings up the big hurt, Frank Thomas.
Frank White.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thomas.
Frank Robinson. Yeah. I said Frank.
Wow.
Shoot,
Poor
it was a
KD.
lot of them though. It was a lot of them,
It was a lot of black. Frank Thomas, Albert Bell, Gary Sheffield,
Prince Fielder.
It was
Cecil
a lot
Fielder
of black
was his
stars.
father. Cecil Fielder for Detroit
Cecil
Tigers.
Fielder was his father. Yup.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I was, like I said, I was a Braves fan, so you couldn't tell me nothing about Fred McGriff.
Even
Oh my God.
Fred McGriff, even Darryl Strawberry.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Don't get on him. That
Yeah.
drug addict.
Darryl Strawberry star.
Yeah, he was a
but he
star.
was still. If he was on drugs, man.
Yeah, you just think about how great he could have been. You feel me?
Yeah.
But it was a lot of them, bro. It was like
A lot of them.
There's a lot of black people that I hated the Yankees, but I love the representation of black people they had for that team.
But even if you like, I don't know, another thing too, just me being a baseball fan, and I've been like me and Clint been talking about getting back into watching baseball, and it's crazy. Like I guess it's like this with every sport. Baseball is played something as simple as hitting the ball, and you would think like baseball wouldn't change too much. They play baseball completely different now. Like it's really like home run the bus now. Like they don't steal bases. They don't do no like. I'm not a fan of the new baseball either.
Well, since we've been gone, they talked about implementing the new rule of no shifting now.
I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it because baseball is already a dying sport because, like everything else, your sport has to evolve for people to love and grow it. Like the NBA All-Star Game, they had to reinvent it.
Correction. It's a dying sport to us.
No, in general, not just to black people, in general, because the numbers are down. Because if you do some comparison to other sports, like the NFL just decided to stop the NFL Pro Bowl. No more Pro Bowl. They're going to do something else. The NBA All-Star Game had to reinvent itself. Baseball is just an old sport that is not drawing in new people. And I think the old heads, the old get off my lawn guys for the old timers for baseball is really hurting the baseball game because why can't you do this? Or we keep it the same way because it works. It's not working because you're not getting new, younger, fresher blood really to actually watch the game.
I want to do. I might have to do. I have to get back to you on that.
I think I heard they said the average viewership age of baseball was like 40 something.
Okay.
Our age and up.
So my question to that is, in America, in the USA, because
in America,
the reason why I say it's not dying, because you look over there in Japan and China,
I love it.
They love baseball.
They love it.
So I think that's one of the things. It's like soccer. You feel me? You can't get me to name the top 5 current soccer players right now. You feel me,
bro? But that's just American culture. Like other countries, really like they really honor like their original like they hold on to their culture or like of tradition and like stuff being the same. Yeah, they try to evolve, and bring in the new, but they really hold on to like older traditions. As here in the States, it's like, man, we don't, anything old is pushed to, that's old. Like, what I mean? It's on to the new. So like, we're the only country that operate with that on to the new mentality with everything. So I think that's one of the reasons why, I think everybody else honors baseball more because baseball is like one of the original sports, along with soccer. So it's like,
I wonder what because with these contracts, I wonder what the attendance, the game attendance is like.
But you got to think about it. The prices for everything at every concession stand at every stadium, any sport has gone up. Who wants to have that type of environment? Like, if you can't afford to really go to spend that much money in games, you want to enjoy your TV, your bathroom right there, your food cooked the way you want to. Because I just got a food poisoning, so I'm pissed.
But that's my point, though. That's my point. It's like how they got to be getting that revenue from somewhere to be able to
TV money,
pay these contracts.
TV money.
But you got to think just the sheer number of games. You got to think the stadiums, baseball stadium might be around 40,000 seating capacity. Even if you filling up half, because chances are they probably only on most games they probably only gonna fill around 20 to 25,000 seats. But you still got 80 something home games. So they make their money with parking, concessions. They make their money.
Yeah, but it's a drawback because nobody wants to spend that money all the time for a terrible team.
Yeah.
How many teams is going to the postseason?
Right.
If your team is like anything like mine, a dumpster fire right now, they're rebuilding. Not a lot of people want to come to see that on a Tuesday, a Wednesday.
Facts.
They make it happen because look at a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates. Outside of a handful of years, since I've been a kid, Pittsburgh Pirates always been like below average. They might have like a 1 or 2 years. They might sneak into the play. They always, but they still around. They have baseball teams that's super average. That been average my whole life. So they make it happen. Look at the Brewers. I think the Brewers had like a 3 or 4 year stretch where they was nice.
Word up.
Right.
And that was just recent memory. That's why within the last 10 years, the Brewers always been garbage.
You know what?
You say the Brewers to people, they might be like, what team is that? What sport they play in?
All right, this is going to happen. Next year, baseball season. Who's your teams? Baseball.
I'm a Yankees fan.
Okay, we're not going there. Clint, who's your team?
Braves, you already know.
Yeah. All right, we got to go somewhere. All three of us got to go to a game. Meet up, go to a game.
I'm down. I'm definitely down.
Road trip. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't go to New York. I'm sorry. The Yankee. I can't. I don't like the boys in pinstripes.
Last topic.
Okay.
Last topic. Al, like me, we real boxing fans. So I was super hyped. Errol Spence, Bud. Oh, they gonna fight. They gonna fight. You feel me? I had my money on Bud. Now these two dudes, they fighting some other guys. And it's like, why do we continue to watch? And we mentioned it before. Ryan Garcia came out and said it's like boxing's become a joke. None of the top fighters fight each other. Somebody mentioned Sugar Ray Leonard. It's like, shit, by the time Sugar Ray was 25, he done fought Duran, Tommy Hearns, and a couple other people. You feel me? Like all before 25. And it's like now, it's like these dudes, is it the promoters? Is it the fighters? Like, what is it? Because we're not getting the fights we want to see, and that's why a lot of these records is fraudulent. Now, to counter that, I fully agree with, a lot of these promoters was jerking a lot of these fighters back in the day. So I'm all for fighters having more control over who they fight and their money and contracts and stuff like that. I'm all for that. You feel me? Because the boxing game been crooked for so long. But at some point, y'all dudes got to fight each other, bro. Like, I don't want to hear this pound for pound, this, that, and the third, how great you are if you're not fighting the other top dudes in your division. You know what I mean? Just go in one ear out the other to me. And I feel like that's why UFC has surpassed them, in my opinion. because those top guys fight. You know. So, what's your opinion on it?
I got a thought.
Go ahead, Dan. I'll go last.
You have more knowledge from me because I've lost interest in boxing since Mike Tyson retired. But I was going to say that to the average person, like the real fans like you guys are very disappointed for one reason. But I think the person who doesn't know anything about boxing might have got jaded. I'm just hear me out on this real quick because of movies or how boxing is supposed to be in a movie versus real life. You'd be like, wait,
that's a great point.
That don't happen.
Excellent point.
Like, wait, that really happens? Oh, I don't. No, they're disappointed because like real life set in for them. They're like, this is not what I thought. I thought boxing was gonna be like this made up fantasy like Rocky, and which is one of the greatest ones. When they just go all out. No, you would tire yourself out. Boxing is more of a technical sport with power to knock you out, not just full, not like MMA. We just going out.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people take a liking to MMA more, because it's more straight to the point. Boom, boom, boom. And that's where boxing is supposed to come in and offset it, because if you as a sport, you got another sport that's similar to you, and they're matching their best fighters against each other, that's what you got to do to combat it. So yeah, like the best fighters got to be fighting each other. But like, to go to your initial point, Clint, like it really stemmed from, like you said, boxers used to be getting jerked. So it's good to see the fighters getting their money, because the promoters used to be getting over. But then it goes back to, like, that's where Al Heyman and PBC came in. Al Heyman came in because he was supposed to be the and he a black man, so that's why we rock with him, because he super successful.
Mm-hmm.
He up. You want to see, he basically controlled boxing. So when he first came in, I was thinking he was gonna have it, because he was, remember, for a couple of years they was having like free boxing again on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Where it would be like big fights, but it wasn't on like premium TV.
Facts.
And it looked like the ratings wasn't there, because, like Dame said, the casual people, like, we really not, if it's because boxing is one of them things, when the big fight come, we order wings, we make like a whole big event. We gather in front of the TV. It's like an event. So it's like them fights that come on TV, the average casual person, unless you were really tuned in with boxing, it's like you ain't really paying no attention to that. So it looked like he saw that and was like, you know what? I try to bring boxing back to how it used to be in the 80s, when you could just turn on Saturday afternoon, boxing would be on TV. Once he seen that wasn't working, I guess he went back to, like, he a businessman. So he went back to what's like, man, we gotta make money off of everything, because I gotta pay all these fighters I got in my stable. So, like, all his fighters is getting paid, but I'll give you an example, like a dude named Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr., the average person would not know who the hell he is.
Facts.
He a good fighter. So somebody like him, when he fight, he got paid $1 million. Under any other promoter, he would have been pressed to get $500,000. But due to him only getting that big payday, he probably fought like one time in a year and a half. So now he's sitting back like, dog, I know I made $1 million, but I ain't fighting nobody. I'm just sitting here training, but I ain't got no fight. But now the promoter looking at him, but dog, you want that $1.5 million payday? It got money. It got to make sense. So then he finally fight. Guess what? He lose. Now his career is a wrap. Yeah. So you made some good money, but you ain't do nothing with your career, because you was sitting around trying to go for them paydays. So it's like it's boxing is in a bad space, because it's a lot of Gary Russell Jr. Everybody want to get paid, but then you ain't fighting nobody. You gotta fight somebody. So, and then everybody's scared to take that risk, because they feel like, if I lose, I'm gonna fuck my bag up.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I'm just going off, just speculating. Just like baseball, we were talking about earlier, about nobody playing baseball. It's about branding at this point. They want to keep that. They want to keep that name. They want to keep the title. Baseball is a team sport, so not unless you're like a Justin Verlander or some of the big names we just heard throughout before, you're not going to get recognized and noticed. In boxing, you take that loss, it's kind of hard to climb out that hole. One loss is a big hole. That's like 5 in the NBA. Like, you keep winning.
But they shouldn't do that. If they were active fighters and you fight elite, I don't think it would hurt you.
It won't hurt you.
The elite.
No, but they're not doing that. They fight with 1 or 2 fights a year.
I think Oscar De La Hoya, he tried, and a couple other people tried to blame Floyd.
Oh, the way he marketed himself, yeah.
Floyd was the influence for Floyd not to blame.
Yeah, and that's the point I was going to say. They was trying to blame Floyd for like cherry picking fights, but like Al made this point on the show before, and those who know, like a lot, like Floyd used to call out all them dudes back in his younger days, and none of them dudes wanted to fight him. So Floyd ain't never ducked nobody. When Floyd got the crown, Floyd just said, "I'm gonna conduct business how the fuck I'm gonna conduct business now, because y'all ain't want to conduct it how I wanted to do it. Y'all ain't give me my shot, so I'm gonna fight who I want to fight."
TMT.
But Floyd went through them wars, bro. In my opinion, he was just better than everybody.
Right.
He was just so far ahead of everybody. It looked like, he wasn't fighting nobody. But Floyd fought hella champions.
Right.
You feel me? Hella champions.
Hold the record. I think he might still hold the record for most champions fought and beaten.
Yeah, you feel me? So my thing is, I feel like dudes tried to copy Floyd, and it's not Floyd's fault. Just like how I blamed the MJ effect, it's not MJ's fault. It's like, but he the blueprint. People saying, "Oh, that's how I'm gonna get that money," or "That's how I can protect my brand." Like Dane, you mentioned, building my brand. I'm gonna try to do it like Floyd. It don't work for everybody.
Right.
You feel me?
And even Floyd said this. Floyd said, "I had to be Pretty Boy before I got to Money May."
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, he said that out his own mouth, like he had to pay his dues before he got the money made. So, but like I said, a lot of it's going to Al Heyman. I see what Al Heyman do. He like, if you sign to me, I'm going to get you paid. But him trying to get all his fighters paid is limiting them fighting. And that's the main reason why a lot of these fights are not getting made. With this Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, I think it's going to get made. It's too much money to be made for it not to be made. I think they just like, they trying to get us a little bit more anticipating it more. I honestly think that.
And another bad rap for why boxing is failing is because of its past predecessors of the bad business dealings and ripping boxers off. That leaves a big sour taste in people's mouths coming into the future. Like, I'm not messing with him. I'm scared to mess with the new guy because does he know what he's doing?
I got a question for you though, damn. You as a casual boxing fan, do you even care about that type of stuff? You just want to see a good fight.
That is so true because I actually, when I go see a boxing match, I actually see how the guy's carrying himself, the ducking, his reflexes, see how much reach he got. I look at the tail of the tape, the size, the weight, the length of the person's arms, and I just look at the whole, technical side of it. It's like, how is he going to dodge this? Is he going to go crazy and just try to press too much? Or is he going to lay back and wait for the guy to slip up and so he can hit them with that haymaker or something?
So let me ask you this, to get the more out point. Did you like watching Bernard Hopkins fight?
Yeah, actually I did.
Okay. So you're a casual fan that like boxing. Because a lot of people don't like Bernard Hopkins fight because, like the casual fan, because of how Bernard fight.
Yeah.
Or Winky Wright. Winky Wright used to be one of my favorite boxers because, I love defensive boxers. You feel me? And those dudes was defensive. They had tricks, rely heavy on the jab, counter punching, and stuff like that. To where, like I said, Sweet Pea used to be my favorite boxer because of his defense. A lot of people, like a point you made earlier, Dane, they want to see the Arturo Gattis of the world go out there and brawl all the damn time. Those are not the best fighters.
No.
You feel me?
Because you're not going to last that long because you're going to go against somebody.
But those are the most entertaining fighters.
But this was my question.
It's a perspective for entertainment.
But Dan, you mentioned promoters. Like my question was more so. You said like the average casual fan have the slightest clue who such and such promoter is. So
I don't want to name Don King, but
yeah, I mean we all
Yeah.
know Don King because Mike Tyson, because we affiliate Don King with Mike Tyson, but outside of Don King, nobody know none of these promoters. So that's my point. Like the casual fan don't have one look at a boxer and be like, oh, I don't like him because he did. Only boxer that ever really had that effect was Floyd. Honestly, and that's what brought Floyd his riches.
No, I'm talking about in the past. Like you still hear rumblings from Don King's past, like still creep up in barbershop talk.
But our point, like the current boxing casual fan, like they don't know nothing about that shit.
Yeah, they don't.
Are you talking about current, like our age and lower, or
just
age
current
higher?
boxers fighting now?
Yeah, just about who fighting now. Like most people, they don't know. That shit is oblivious to them. If they act like they know,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to get a better perspective of what you're saying. I'm not being.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like the most casual fans, to his point, don't know nothing about the backroom dealings or the shady shit that's going on because they don't know who doing it. You feel me? They can't identify who doing it. You feel me? Like Al mentioned Al Heyman, but you mention that name to a casual boxer fan, they don't know who they think. They may think you talk about another boxer.
I think you're talking about Paul Heyman from WWE's brother or something.
Right.
You feel me? So, like, yeah. Well,
yeah, boxing got to get it together. Definitely got to get it together, man.
Yeah, man, it's hurting my heart. It's fucking Jake Pauls and all these motherfuckers.
That's another thing that's killing these promoting these non-boxers. Celebrities are just killing the sport too.
And I ain't gonna lie, I watched it. It was entertaining. I can't even.
I'm not gonna say I wasn't gonna watch it either. It's just not. But they're boxing more than the boxers. That's the sad part.
Yeah. You feel me? And like he trying to take it serious, but he just ain't fighting no serious boxers.
Right.
You feel me? So, well, that's a wrap, fellas. Y'all want to get your information out?
Well, your boy Al. Catch me on Twitter, YoungFly609.
Yo, it's me, Go Blue Dame. You catch me at Another Level Up on Instagram, Twitter. I might come back one day. Shillo21 on Twitter, Checkmate21 on TikTok and Xbox. Shillo21.
You already know it's your boy Smooth. You catch me on Twitter all the damn time at Eater and Groovy, on my blog at kingstruth.com and on Snap at King's Truth. So until next time, I'll be back next week. The following week after that is my birthday weekend, so don't expect me to be nowhere to be around. You feel me?
I got you.
But we'll be back next week. Holla.
Ba, 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 ba.